My name is Olivia, and I'll be taking us on another great journey. Well, this is branding, a guide to presenting your organization in the best possible light. So, let's see what we got. So, when you think brand, what do you actually, what do you think about? So, you think brand, you think logo, strategy, value, design, trust, identity, and of advertising. Yeah. So let's go to branding. Branding by definition is a marketing practice in which a company creates a name, symbol, or design that is easily identifiable as long as. Whoa, I see. Okay, so these are like so much words. So basically, what branding is simply that thing that makes you and your company unique. That is basically what branding is. So if you have a business, you want to have a business, what is that thing like? What is that thing that you actually use as your branding? So for Apple, you have they have eating Apple, you have Nokia, you have MTN, Mercedes, Bincom, you have a lot of things, like a lot of things. But why is branding important? Branding is absolutely critical to a business because of the overall impact it makes on your company. So branding can change how people perceive your brand and it can drive new businesses and increase brand awareness. So that's just it. So these are the five we'll be looking at. Branding gets recognition, increases business value, generates. Let's just go on. I'll explain as we move on. So branding gets recognition. Now, the most important reason branding is important to a business is because it is how a company gets recognition and becomes known to the customers. So, the logo is the most important element of branding, especially where this factor is concerned, as it is essentially the face of the company. So, that's why when you actually see like ties, see you and then you see red, you think Coca-Cola. Then when you see yellow, with like a couple of space in between, kind of block like yellow or sphere, you think MTN. So this is why a professional logo design should be powerful and easy. You don't really need anything like too much of stuffs. You don't really need that. And easily memorable, making an impression on the person at first glance. So at the back of a phone, you think you see like an half eaten apple when you like think, okay, yeah, apple. And then you see something like this. This is a G. Yeah, this is a G. So when you see this G looking like this, what do you think? You think journey. That's like basically it. So that's what it's actually talking about. So um the next one is branding increases business value. And branding is important when trying to generate future business. And a strongly established brand can increase a business value by giving the company more leverage in the industry. So everybody starts from small, exactly. So that's why I actually put this up here. Now, the more value your business gets, the more you actually increase. You have more leverage in the industry. So that's like how until you just hit that point and you're like, yeah, yeah, this is skyrockets. Yeah, that point. So this makes it a more appealing investment opportunity because of its firmly established place in the market. So when people actually see, okay, let's go down. I'm going to tell you all about it later. Now, this is like another interesting part. This is what I want to talk about. Now, branding generates new customers. How? One way branding generates customers, apart from those two things we mentioned earlier, is actually reviews. Now, we have the internet today, and mostly when people want to actually get something online, stuff like that. Now, the first thing they do is they see the product. Yeah, of course. This is what I want. They see the price. They're like, okay, maybe it's too expensive, well, I can manage, or this is just the right price. And then the next thing is the review. That you just go down and like check the review of that product. Now, if the reviews are like really bad, it's like a no, like a no for them. Now, most people don't know, but you actually lose customers because when you actually have a bad review, the people that intend getting that product wouldn't get the product, and also advise other persons not to get the product. But if then your branding is like you get customers so fast because you actually put a lot of time in making sure your products are actually good. So doing giving your company or your business a good review. So branding generates new customers. Let's just move on. A good brand will have no trouble drumming up referral business. Strong branding generally means there is a positive impression of the company amongst customers, and they are likely to do business with you because of the familiarity and assumed dependability of using a name they can trust. Yes, everybody likes to go to, they prefer, yeah, this is already out there, let me just do this. But for me, as a person, I feel we should actually give the upcoming businesses a chance to also, be known. So when I go to a store, I don't go for the old purchases. So there are some things I actually go for because I've actually tried the new products and they're not just good for me. So I look at let's say cereals, I look at drinks, I look at foodstuffs, and like I see a new one, I'm like, okay, fine, let me just try this. Let me just try this and just see how it's like. Okay, because basically when something comes new into the market, it's at a discount. Okay, it comes to a lower price, so people can actually know what that thing is. Like be able to get it. How is it like? Definitely people that are putting it up there, the company, they actually want reviews from their customers, their supposed customers, you know. So you just try it. Go to a store, try something else, something out of the box, something you've not seen. It's new. Yeah, it's new, and just try to boost other people businesses because they're actually trying to, be out there too, just like the rest of them. And let's not just stick to one. Really, let's not stick to one because you might actually want to have a business someday and you would actually want people to know. So if you're actually just imagine, okay, you're doing this thing as you actually going, not knowing that you want to have a business in the future or you already have a business or something like that. But let's just look at an example where you don't actually think you want to have a business in the future. So you're getting stuff, trying out new things, giving reviews on it. And then when your own stuff comes out, most people say, okay, pray. Yeah, you pray, but then you don't have to pray more because you've been doing something like that for other persons. So yeah, definitely people would want to try that because it's like a karma kind of something. Okay, I don't want to be too, I don't want to take it too far, but that's what I'm just trying to say. So once the brand has been established, word of mouth will be the company's best and most effective advertising technique. Yeah, advertising works. Yeah, of course. You advertise, people actually know your products because that's what everybody's actually doing now. You have a new product on ground, your startup, you do advertising so people can actually know that you are in existence. Okay, so moving on. So why is branding important? Improves employee pride and satisfaction. Oh, this is my favorite. Now, I work for a really classy, company, and well, I don't really like to show off. Definitely, we don't really like to show off, but because I know that yeah, my company like stands out, it gives me like there's so much. I come to work and I feel energized. Yeah, because I know I can make a difference. I can like put more to actually put that company out there so that people will be like, wow, she works for these people. That's really nice. That kind of a thing. So when an employee works for a strongly branded company and truly stands behind the brand, yeah, so they'll be more satisfied with their job, definitely, and have a higher degree of pride in the work that they do. So now, because, well, they have that pride, okay, now they actually, without knowing, they actually do a lot of referrals without knowing, because they talk about what they do, they talk about where they work, and it's like, yeah, we are there. You're just putting it out there. Like, and then people you're talking to go back later, check on it online and see what this person is talking about, and that kind of a thing. So working for a brand that is reputable and held in high regard among the public makes working for that company more enjoyable and fulfilling. So just like this, I love my job. Okay. Definitely, this is like a reminder. When you actually put a cup like this on your table while you're working, and then you just be like, yeah, yeah, it might be stressful, but yeah, I love my job. I do, and I do. So create trust within the marketplace. So this is a professional appearance and well strategized branding will help the company build trust with customers, potential clients, and consumers. Sorry. People are more likely to do business with a company that has a polished and professional portrayal. Now, let me use an example. Okay, so it's like too much words. Okay, so I actually want to get something, and just like what I was saying, okay, you go to a market and you're like, this is Coca Cola, so this is nice. So you go, you purchase Coca Cola because you actually trust them. But I bet you that a day you go down to the market or a superstore or a mall, and then you actually pick a Coca Cola and it's not actually the same taste, you would not actually want to take that for like a month. You try something else. So what Coca Cola does is it makes sure that it's giving you better and better. It doesn't actually, it doesn't go down below that expectation that their consumers have. So being properly branded gives the impression of being industry experts and makes the public feel as though they can trust your company, the products and services it offers, and the way it handles its business, which is it. So let's look, for example, there's this cake business. Okay, I don't know how to actually put it, but where I actually feel the need to get cakes, chops, or let's say anything, or even a catering service, there's this people I actually meet. They are actually new, not top notch. It's like a startup. It's called House of Sherry. You know, I tried that first, and it was just a small birthday cake. I was trying to just deliver to a friend, and I got a lot. Like they were like, "Wow, this is really nice." Like, "Wow, oh my god, who made the cake?" All those stuffs. And I was like, okay, well, if this is actually good, I'm not the type that really likes sugar. Well, I like sugar, but I actually take like a little bit. So I was like, okay, fine. Since this is it, why not try again? Let's see if she did it because it was the first time. That was why it was good. So let me try again. So I actually ordered again, and it was still good. And the person told me, okay, I actually do catering services, and stuff. I was like, okay, fine. Why don't I have like, I was looking for someone who was going to do a surprise bridal shower for a friend of mine. So I said, okay, fine. Why don't you like, handle this? And it was really nice. So that's it. So because I was actually, getting like good, I don't know how to put it, but she was really, really impressing me. I actually told some of my friends about it, and from there, she actually started getting, customers and stuff like that. So that's basically it. Because it's good, you would get consumers, you would get potential clients, you would get customers. So that is why you're branding. Trust me, your branding is important. Whether you know it or not, your branding is important. So, so why is a company profile and brand presentation? What is? Okay. So your company's profile is like a resume outlining it begins achievement, goals, and potential. You should include all the data your possible clients and customers need to know. And just like you write your resume with the employer in mind, you should make your company profile thinking of the prospects and their needs. And I will be giving certain deliberate steps to be taken when it comes to your company presentation, profile presentation. So let's move on. So how to make a killer title slide for your company. So you need to go represent your company, you know. So how do you make your company stand out from the rest of other companies that are in the same industry as yours? So the first slide of your company profile presentation should always contain all the basic company information, all of them. Things like company name, address, phone number, website, email. But don't mistake your title slide with your company presentation's introduction. No, don't do that. Now, while your first slide should contain all this information, it's a terrible idea to stand in front of your audience and state these facts. No, no, no. Just put it out there, let them see it, let them take it in. Yeah, you don't actually have to start, okay? The name of my company is this. We are located, that kind of a thing. So no, let them know at the beginning when they are just getting to you. So you shouldn't just, don't really bore them. It's just the beginning, so you don't need to bore them. So outline all this information in your title slide like a pro, you know, but if you're also presenting in front of an audience, keep in mind that it's just a placeholder. It's yet to be soaked in while you tell some different story. So let them soak it in. Yeah, you should just soak it in. So look at the big picture. The most important part of any company overview are their exact goals and objectives. That's why when you actually look at almost every well, let's say every company, you see goals, you see objectives. I think the one I actually see most of the times are actually their objective on their website. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. So for this reason, one of the most important company profile presentation tip is to look at the big picture in order to determine what they are. So the ultimate difficulty with looking at the big picture, just of our company is the fact that we are often too wrapped up in the details. Now, most times people actually, are wrapped up. It's not because of, they have a lot of things to talk about or something like that, but because they are nervous and, it's like a huge audience and they're like, wow, I don't know how I'm going to do. Or they're not just comfortable. They're not even comfortable in the clothes they're in their own skin, you know. So when you begin a new project, you know exactly why you are doing it. Your objective, goals, and the full-blown impact you want to make are all so easy to say. Like they're very easy. But once you start taking the steps, you stop doing that. The big picture is replaced by the next immediate step you need to make. I know that's very confusing. Well, as we go on, you would get the big picture. Now, products and services. After your introductory slide, you should introduce your products and services. The key is to stay focused on the client's problems in the past. Now, you don't want to be talking about your solution at the start of this slide. You really need to understand this because it is important. It's not just for companies, but if you're also a student, trust me, this is also important because at the end of your stay in school, you are expected to do a project and you will need a slide. So this is also important. So instead, take the time to illustrate a few problems that the audience can relate to. You know, try to bring them in. Let them just, when you're in a let me just give you an example. You're in a church. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So I know most of us go to church, and the preacher, he's talking and talking. But if you pay attention when you're in a church and there are a lot of crowd, you'd actually notice that there comes a point where the preacher just tries to look at his audience, and then maybe he draws them in, but maybe he's not really seeing what he wants to see, and before you know it, he's telling a story and everybody's like, okay, okay, let me hear what he's going to say. And like, okay, this is interesting, because stories actually help people relate. So that is just it. So talk about the faults of the already existing solution, like Steve Jobs in his famous iPhone introductory speech. So if you have some previous successes, make sure to mention them, like in the Steve Jobs example. This will establish you as an authority and someone who really knows what they are doing. Yeah. So I will tell you one people that have actually made me so proud, and that is Bincom. Yeah, Bincom. So if you don't actually know about Bincom, you haven't heard about them before, just log on to www.bincom.net. And really, you would actually see what I'm talking about. So introduce the team. If you and your team work well of each other, it's a good idea to make a group presentation when delivering your company overview. It is great if your business partners with a shared vision. If you plan your group presentation and make sure everyone gets their favorite topic, you're in for a successful company profile presentation. Yeah, which is very true. Because if you actually go out with some of your friends and you guys know each other very, very well, and you meet a couple of people, you just see you're like flowing a lot because I know about you, you know about me, and we talk about each other. You know, yeah, actually, some stuff you might be talking about and it's left out, and I'll just say it. Be like, yeah, and everything is just in sync because we work well together. So if you can present with your team, make sure to introduce it. You can either dedicate a whole slide to listen your team members. Another great way to briefly show your team is to put up a group picture on a slide while you talk about it. Yeah, let him soak it in. A picture. Yeah, so this is my team, right? So this gives a sense of great collaboration, and you feel like your team is right there with you on that stage, which might help with the stress. Exactly, it helps. So be interactive. Yeah, one of the best company presentation tips is to stay humble. True. Your vision and mission are important, yes, but the best way to make them come true is to give your audience a voice and hear how they can enrich it. Now, not only should you time your speech so that there is room for questions after, but you should also ask the questions yourself through the presentation. Just recall everything you had to double think and question regarding your complaint. So, lots of words, but let me give you an instance again. So, you are going to speak with a couple of people about something. Let's say you want to discuss a product. Let's say, for me, what do I like? What do I like? I like bags. I like handbags a lot. So I see a bag online, and I want to get the bag, but I don't have any money on me. What I do is I wait for a time when my dad is in the parlor, like in the sitting room, and I sit with him on the sofa, and I'll just go through with my phone. I'll just hold my phone and just going through my pictures. I've saved the pictures. I know that yes, this is the one I need. I just go through them. I'll be like, Daddy, how do you see this? But dad is the type of person that if you try to interact with him, yeah, he does interact. So I just keep talking. He's not paying attention to me, but I know, yeah, he is also. So I keep talking. I'm like, okay, these ones are fine. These ones are not fine. Daddy, what do you think? Now just say something. And then you start like, okay, this one is okay, but me, I don't know anything about bags, so I don't know why you came to meet me. You can meet your mother. You can meet your sisters. Why are you coming to me? I say, no, no, daddy, just look at it. I like this one, daddy. I like this one. So he asked me straight questions like, okay, do you really need this bag? Because I know you have, a lot of bags. So why do you really need this one? So, by him being in that, he's actually just getting soaked in, and I keep answering him. And at the end of the day, I'll be like, daddy, I don't have money to buy the bag. You like the bag too. Why don't you give me money to buy the bag? So it's just the same thing. When you're speaking to someone, you allow, like, you ask questions, because as you talk, most people would actually have questions to ask. So if you give them a chance, they can actually ask that question, you answer them, and then you move on. You won't lose them, like you would not lose their attention because you are communicating with them. That is how they actually have questions to ask. So this gives your audience a chance to think of the solution you thought of before you even mention them. That will make your company profile presentation 10 times more effective. Find the right template. What is going to be good? When it comes to choosing the right company overview template, you can't go wrong with the standard format. The concern with picking the right template for your company profile presentation is to capture the branding. Make sure not to use too many colors. If you want to be unique, your brand should stand out. So you really want to pick a few shades that people start associating with your brand. So when I think this color right here on my screen that is very small at the top, okay, I see this color and I think of my company. Exactly, I think of the company I work for, so which is yeah, I actually say it so it's Bincoms color. Okay, so whenever I walk on the road, I see this color, and I remember it. So that's basically what we are talking about. So if you actually check about presentations done by MTN, you always see there's like a hint of yellow. There's always yellow somewhere around. So that's what we're actually talking about. So use the color psychology to determine the best shades for your brand and pay attention to what the others are using. Let this determine the templates and slides you'll be using in your company overview. So you see all these colors, you see red, excitement, passionate, you know, I look at blue because blue is my color and I think technology and trust. I think that's why I'm a bit techie without knowing because I've always liked that blue and I am the kind of person you should trust. So, yeah, trust me, trust the company I work for, trust our brand. So, same colors as, we have the purple, we have pink, we have green, which is definitely what it should be. You really need to think of a color that actually, gosh, I don't know how to explain, but colors are really, really important in your presentation. So, the any slide of your company profile presentation should always be a CTA, call to action. This also translates to your conclusion while you deliver the overview before you get into the questions. So, but having a call to action is just standard practice for the ending of business presentation. What's important to achieve is to persuade your audience to take those actions one last time if they weren't already on board. So with that in mind, you can end your presentation like I'm doing now, daring the audience to take the action and see for themselves. So I would be daring you to try all of these things I've actually said. You have a business, you want to have a business, think about the best brand, okay? The best logo, the best colors, everything that would actually soak in what you're trying to represent, what you're trying to do for the society. So, if you have any questions, just go down to the comment section, leave your questions. I will definitely answer you. Now that ends my slide. Thank you and